Mom and Dad. Podcast Disseminators, not for kids.
Where you at, mes amis? This is HD, the Harvest Disseminator, bringing you a review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends 2020 Deluxe War Machine. And without further ado, let's chop them up.
God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When I dare to challenge the system that would relegate us to victims and stereotypes with no clear historical backgrounds, no hopes or talents, when I questioned that method of portrayal, a different path opened up for me. The path to my destiny. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Now, this is your time.
Taking a look at Rhodey in the packaging, he looks amazing. You see his head sculpt up here in the left-hand corner. You have all of these cool accessories. You do have a War Machine insignia right here. You have this cool artwork on both sides of the box. On the back, you will get a product shot. There you go with the head sculpt again. All of the accessories, a brief biography, and we will take a little, we'll take a look at his biography here in the review as well. You can have a mocked up Air Force symbol right there on the top. At the bottom, you will get the barcode, and I purchased this dude at the same time that I purchased Apocalypse, man. I found the boat at Target, bought them in one pop, man. So here they are. And yeah, man, this is the packaging. Let's go ahead and get him out and see what he is all about. And here is our main dude out of the packaging, and I gotta say, man, that I like what I see. Hasbro took the 80-year Iron Man / Iron Man 2020 body mold, and they retooled it here, alright? So there are some reused parts, there are some new parts to the figure as well, alright? So it's not a complete reuse. I would just say that they used that 80 years Iron Man as a basis for this figure. But yeah, man, I am liking what I see, man. We're going to take a look at the body sculpt. We're going to take a look at his accessories, y'all, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and get into it. And here's a look at the accessories, y'all. Of course, you see you get two head sculpts. The highlight of it for me, man, is this Rhodey head sculpt right here, man. I think they did a really good job with this. They put the lines in his hair right there with the flat top. And the reason why they went with this particular head sculpt, man, like this, with the lines and everything, the flat top and the beard, is because this is how he was presented, man, when War Machine was first presented in the comic book. So War Machine's first appearance was in Iron Man 282. And of course, Tony Stark was the first War Machine, man. He was pronounced dead even though he wasn't, right? And so what happens in Iron Man 284 is that Rhodey takes up the mantle of Iron Man, and of course he uses the War Machine armor, all right? And when we look at the armor, I'll give you a little bit more of a comparison of what happened there in the comic books, and and how the armor is presented in two different ways in the comic books as well. But we'll get into that. But I like what we see here. This is how Rhodey looked, man, in that run when he became a War Machine, man. So they did a really good job. His eyes, man, seem to be like, I don't know, man, like kind of staring into the distance a little bit. I think the eyes could have came out a little bit better. Being that we've been waiting for a War Machine, man, with a Rhodey head sculpt as well. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, man. I know that we got one with that Toy Biz, you know, War Machine. And actually the dude that sculpted it, I can't remember his name, you know, he actually used his own face with that particular figure, you know. I'm really bad when it comes to names, man. Like, I know the comic books, but I don't know the name of the writers or the artists sometimes, man. I'm kind of bad with that. But yeah, nonetheless, man, this head sculpt came out real nice. I like the texturing on the hair, man. So yeah, the skin tone's really nice. The paint apps look real good, man. I like the beard here, man. So, you know, I'm happy that we got this head sculpt. And then here goes the War Machine head sculpt, man. And all of that's comic book accurate with that light right there on the side, man. That all looks really good. It's a silver metallic paint. You got these ridges right here in the head. That looks real nice, man. You got this the circular part right here on the ear part right there, man. So this all came out looking really good, very impressive, and I like what Hasbro did right here. Okay, now to get into the other accessories, now this stuff is going to be attached to his body, right? So when he's in the packaging, he actually has these two guns right here, man, and they're connected actually to his body, but they come off. All right, so to take a look at the figure here, you have these two knobs right here, man. You got these holes right there at the bottom, and these just peg right in. So you could change, you know, what side you want these guns on. Say you want this one that lets out the missile launcher. You can just switch it right over there, man. It really doesn't matter. You know, put it wherever you want it, whatever makes sense for you and how you displaying them or how you gonna put them on the shelf. All right. But check it out, man. There's specific accessories for both weapons, right? So here it is, the missile launcher. You can see that it's shaped like a rectangle, if you will. So you have this rectangular piece right here, man, with the missiles. See how that's rectangular right there? That's just going to fit right into this, okay? And it pretty much stays. So that's how that's going to work. And just you know, imagine that being there on the shoulders. And with the missiles, you know, they do come off, man. These missiles come off, so you could do some really cool shots with this, man. You might have to use some Photoshop or something like that, but you know, you could pull something off really good with the missiles, you know, if you have time to do all of that. Sometimes, man, I have great ideas. I just don't have the time to execute them. Time is of essence, you know what I'm saying? But the gun itself as well, man, the gun looks really good. You know, I'm impressed with how that came out. Great texturing there, man, design and detail throughout pretty much. And if you wanted to take off the missiles, you know, you could actually see the holes right there in the missile launcher where the missiles would come from. Okay, so this all looks really, really good. So that's going to be that gun with these missiles. And then you have this, damn, man, semi-automatic weapon right here. You can see where the bullets come out right there. This also has some cool detail. You know, you got a scope right there, and they painted red into the scope. It's almost like a laser, if you will. So yeah, man, there goes the female part where you would hook him onto his back or / shoulders. So again, great detail. And then you have this fire effect. And again, the plastic's translucent, man. You could shine a light really bright on that somehow, and you know, you can really make it pop. So that's going to be that effect right there. I'm not sure if we've seen this before. I don't believe that we have. All right. And then you have this effect right here, and this effect has two. You can see two indentations in it, like two holes connected. That's because this is going to go on to the gun right here on his actual hand, and that does not come off, I don't believe. Maybe you can get it off if you take off the cuff. Perhaps that's a possibility. No, you know what? I think they actually, you know, there's some adhesive on there, and I don't think it's going to come off. So let's put that hand back on. And so yeah, man, with the male and female part, you just pop that right in like that, and boom, my boy spraying bullets, man, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So that looks really good. It's a light yellow, and it transitions into like a darker orange. So I like that a lot. That looks really good. Some good shots with that. And then you have these effects, which we have seen before. We've seen these with the Black Widow Deadly Origins figure and the porcelain guns. But here, this, you know, you can port him right into his little gun right here on his wrist. Okay, so bam, you just pop that in and, you know, make it look good and use it however you want to. Then you have these smoke effects, which also came with the Deadly Origin. Black Widow, same thing. I'll just port one in for right now, but you can port both of these in. One is going to be bigger than the other one. Okay, so they are two different sizes. So yeah, man, that looks really nice as well. And then what you're going to get are these effects right here. Now with the fire effects that go down on his feet, they are reused, right? So we did originally see these with the Iron Man 2020 figure, okay? So they are reused. However, what they did here is that they actually put some great paint here at the base, and I think this looks a lot better. And they're pretty universal, man. You could use this with the Iron Man 2020 or the 80 years Iron Man, what have you. Because, yeah, man, it's intended for all three of them, really. So, yeah, with these, just like these, I'm going to move these out of the way for now. But with these, what happens is that you can pull these out right here. So if you just wanted to put them in a flying mode, man, you could just port these right onto the bottom here. And then you could get him into like a flying position, man, if you wanted to. So you just port those onto the bottom. But then, say you want them to be launching off, right? And these kind of connect as well, okay? So there are indentations that present this as something that can kind of connect together like that. See that? You put it down, and then you put the two blasters into that effect right there, and you got to balance them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And my table's uneven, so don't hate on Hasbro if this falls over. Hate on me and my table. So it should stand pretty much like that, okay, y'all? And it looks really good, man. You put a light on that real hot, you know, and it will turn like a translucent color. You see that? How that's turning that? You can see the bright orange in there. Looks really nice. So those are the accessories, and yeah, man, the dude came really well accessorized, so no complaints with that. Before we examine the body sculpt a little closer, I wanted to show you that yes, you can get the Rhodey head sculpt on the 80 years Iron Man body, and of course you can get the Tony Stark head on the War Machine body. Now the reason why I did this is because whenever Rhodey first took up the mantle of Iron Man, he wore the traditional Iron Man armor. And of course, when War Machine first appeared in Iron Man 282, Tony Stark was wearing the armor. Okay, it wouldn't be till issue 284 that Rhodey took up the mantle of Iron Man again. This time in 284, it was a result of him allegedly being dead. The first time he took up the mantle of Iron Man, it was due to Tony Stark's alcoholism. So let me go ahead and swap the heads back. And here goes the 80 years Iron Man body with the Tony Stark head. Of course, this came with this particular figure. And here is the War Machine body with the Rhodey head. And of course, this came here in the set. One thing I want you to take note of, man, is that whenever the armor first appeared in Iron Man 282, the armor did not look like this. Say I'm throwing up an image up on the screen. You can see that the circle was not present there on the armor in 282 and 283. It wouldn't be into issue 284 that the circle would appear there on the chest. I know this has a name, man. It's slipping my mind right now. But yeah, so there is kind of like an evolution in those few short issues, man. 284, you will have this particular costume right here, man. I'm really glad that Hasbro gave us this set here, man, and this figure. I really hope, man, that we get more African American figures here in the future. You know, I don't want to hate on Hasbro because, in fact, you know, Monica Rambeau, my favorite Avenger. You know, there is no action figure of Monica Rambeau except for the one that Hasbro produced, man. Toy Biz didn't give us a Monica Rambeau. I will say that Hasbro might have missed an opportunity last year when they had that 80-year line going out. They could have gave us a 80 years Monica Rambeau and gave us that 1980s Monica whenever she was Captain Marvel and when she was the leader of the Avengers. You know, the costume was completely different. We got a more modern Monica Rambeau, and I'm not complaining. I'm glad that we got it. Another big request, man, where something we really, really need. Now, I do have this this Toy Biz Falcon right here, man. And you know what, man? I mean, he served this purpose, but the dude's really outdated, man, with the body sculpt and everything. Now, Hasbro did give us the Sam Wilson Captain America, right? So that's good, man. I'm glad to have this guy in my collection. But what they didn't give us, man, and that was also a 3-pack from Toys R Us. Vision came in it, and I believe Kate Bishop also did. He didn't come with any wings, man. So, you know, we got that Falcon card, and you could buy wings online for like $40. There's a 3D print site that makes the wings, and I want those wings. I've just been really hesitant to buy it, man, because I'm like, damn, this dude should have came with the wings to start, you know. So I'm hoping that we get the body mold's already there, man. So that's what I don't understand. The body mold already exists. All they got to do is repaint it, basically, you know, and give us some wings with this dude. So maybe if you got to give us a deluxe set to give us those, I don't know why you would have to, because we got wings with my homeboy Anthony Mackie. You know, Anthony Mackie's from New Orleans. We got wings with him with the MCU figure. So I don't even think it needs to be deluxe, man. You could just give us a re-release of this figure, paint them differently, and give us some wings, man. So. You know, yeah, we need an updated Falcon. You know, that's for sure. And there's other figures you can give us, man, like Black Panther. You know, I have a couple of Black Panthers. I don't have any of the MCU. I don't collect MCU figures, you know. So it'd be nice to get a head sculpt with a T'Challa head sculpt with a comic book figure, you know, because I'm not into the movie figures so much. An updated Misty Knight. That Misty Knight we got, man, she got a golden hand. You know, I would like to see the whole arm, you know, and a repainted face. Ironheart, you know, you can give us Ironheart. You can give us a new Blade figure wearing the coat, and hopefully it ain't the same coat that Gambit got. Moon Girl with Devil Dinosaur. A comic book version of Killmonger. Shard from X-Force. You can give us a bald-headed Bishop. You know, I'd like to see that. Blue Marvel, Black Goliath, Power Man, etc., etc. You know, I think there's a lot of possibilities for you to throw some of these figures, Hasbro. But I'm really happy to have this dude, and I think it's a sign of some progress, man, in terms of representation. So I think diversity is really important, man. So yeah, man, I'm really glad to have this guy. I just wanted to emphasize that here in the review. So now that I've said that, man, let's take a closer look at the body here. It's sculpted really nice. What I like about this, all right, so it is a retooling of this body right here. Let me stand this dude back up. And then you have the Iron Man 2020 figure, right? Iron Man 2020 is the same exact figure as the 80 years Iron Man. All they did was just gave him this little armor right here, man, and that can come off, you know. And when you take all of this off, I ain't gonna take it off on camera, but when you take the armor off, what's under it is the exact same body mold, the same, you know, circles right there, you know, everything's the same. The only difference is he has this harness right there and a different belt, but the body mold is exactly the same with these two figures. The head sculpt, of course, is different, you know, and of course the paint job. But this is what's going to be different here, man. You can see that, of course, this part is a reuse, you know, of his thigh and his upper legs. That's reused. But you look at the kneecaps, and they're completely new. And, of course, the boots are completely new. So take a look at those knees right there, y'all. We got some good sculpting here in the boots right there, man. I like that a lot. All of that looks really good. Very faithful to the comic books. Very comic book accurate. You do have this belt, and again, man, that's comic book faithful right here, man. The design of the belt, the design of the armor right there, you know, all of that looks good. This is like a dark gray, and then you have this really, really, really metallic silver for the paint job, and that looks phenomenal. Now with the arms, the shoulder up there, And then you're going to have the bicep. Of course, the elbows are also the same. And you got this portion of the arm that's the same, but they put different gloves on the figure, all right? So the arms are pretty much a reuse with some retooling. Same thing with the body mold. This portion of the body mold right here is a reuse, man. It's exactly the same thing. But what they did, man, is they cut into the chest right here and they put this new chest plate on. And of course, this is all new right here, this portion of his abs right there. So this guy has abs, this one doesn't. I believe this portion that's painted silver is reused. They just, again, kind of cut into the figure, if you will, you know. You can see in the back, that's all different back there. So, so that looks all good, man. And again, you do have the circle right there on the chest. Now, what I like about this, man, with these shoulder pads, they're very pliable, so you can get his arm to go up, and we'll take a closer look at that when we do articulation. Man, there's just really good detail throughout the breastplate right here on the sides. Again, you can see, look at the back here. You saw this nice little detail right there, man. All of that came out looking really, 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 really nice, okay? So that is his body sculpt. Again, it's just going to be a retool of the 80 Years Iron Man. Taking a look at his articulation with the guns. Again, they're on a hinge, so they will go up and down as you need them to here. So here it is. I have it hinged up. I have it hinged down. Of course, the guns are on a ball, so they swivel around as you see fit and have need them to do. Again, there's just a hinge in there, all right? So that goes up and down, as you can see right here. With his head, the head is on a dumbbell joint, all right? So I'm going to pull this out right here, and as you can see, there's just a dumbbell joint right there, so you could swivel that all around, okay? So there's no hinge, so let me pop that back on, and you will get a decent range of motion with the head as a result, all right? See how I could just motion that around? So with the dumbbell joint, it allows you to look down this much, and it will allow for you to look up that high. So that's not super high. You'd have to bend back his body to get him to look up, really. That might be a problem if you're trying to get him in a flying pose. You might have to pop off his head and then rest the head on the dumbbell joint, all right? Otherwise, we have him flying like that. So, you know, I wish this could. I wish he did look a little further up, but unfortunately, he cannot, all right? Now, with the arms, as I was mentioning, this shoulder pad right here is pliable, so it will allow the arms to go up that high, right? But the shoulder blade is actually attached to the arm, okay? You can get a 360 with it. However, you can't get a 360 with these guns here. So you're going to have to take the guns off, man, to achieve a 360. But you can, you know, in your shots, your photography, man. I mean, you're not going to be swiveling his arm around like that. So you can get it wherever you want it to be, man. Put that gun back on, okay? He will have an upper bicep swivel, as you can see right here. He has double jointed elbows, so he has a decent amount of range with those, okay? He will have a waist swivel. You can get the 360 going on. He can crunch down this much, and he could bend that much forward backwards. With his legs, you can't get him to kick out that wide. You can get him to split this much as well, okay? And so you will have the upper thigh cut. You have double jointed knees. There is not a boot swivel, okay? No boot swivel with him. You can get his foot to go up that high and that low. You can't get it to go as high because it starts to hit that boot up there. But I mean, that's a decent range of motion. You do have ankle pivoting with him, and you have peg holes at the bottom of his feet. And you might want to find a stand for this guy, man, if you're getting him into some dynamic poses in terms of just shooting or whatever, squatting down. He is a little top heavy, man, especially when you have all those accessories on. So what I do, man, I make my own stands, y'all. I don't buy stands from nobody, man. I just get this, I get the wire, man. What is this, like 24 gauge wire? I can't remember, man. I get this from Lowe's, Home Depot. And yeah, man, so you get that stand, and look, you just cut it, man, with some wire cutters, and you make it as long as you want. I have some of these lower ones, so if I want this dude to squat, right, and I'm having a hard time, he just wants to fall over, you just stick him on this stand right here, man, and this will help him stay in place, you know. It helps to balance them. And sometimes you might need to put something on top of the stand too, man, to keep the stand from running away. But for the most part, it'll do its job, you know. So you might want to put something a little bit heavier on the stand. And then look, you can get them to crouch over like that, all right? Normally I'll put like an effect on the stand or something like that to keep it in place. So this works, man. You can make these by, you know, I just get a can and wrap it around a can, a tin can, and then you just bend this part up, man, and make it as long. You could make it higher, so if you want them to stand on top of it, you could just balance them on it, you know. So that is an option. But otherwise, if you don't want to do that, man, you might need to get a little necker stand or something like that. I'm not saying that this fits into a necker stand. I don't know. But Chad, man, he does have a little problem standing up, so that's something to take into consideration. And here's War Machine on his blast effects, scaled next to Iron Man 2020 with his blast effects. Now, my surface is not even, so I think that's why this guy's leaning to the side right here. So don't blame the figure, blame my table, but just wanted to show you guys how he looked on those blast effects. Hey, y'all, I lost my measuring tape. I have no idea where I put it, man, and I've been looking for it. I can't search any longer. I got to get this review done. So here he is, scale next to Iron Man in Iron Man 2020. I'm just going to go off the cuff and say he's 6 inches, a little over 6 inches maybe, but it's a 6-inch figure. And here he is, scale next to the Walgreens exclusive Black Panther and the Suri Claw 2-pack Suri. And here he is, scale next to the 2020 Retro Wave Storm and the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure Blade. And here he is, scale next to the Marvel Legends Misty Knight and Luke Cage. This is how he scales next to the Punisher War Machine and Spy Master. This is how he scales next to Beetle and Constrictor. Here he is, scale next to Doctor Doom and Nick Fury. Here he is, scale next to Hawkeye and the Wasp. And here he is, scale next to 2 New Orleans born superheroes. You have the Queen of New Orleans, the most powerful, most glorious, most illustrious, single-jointed elbowed Monica Rambeau, and the Prince of the French Quarter, the single-jointed elbowed Remy LeBeau, known in the French Quarter simply as Gambit. In conclusion, I think this is the best use of that 80 years Iron Man body mold. Of course, it is retooled, but this is just a phenomenal figure, man. And at the price point of $30, I do recommend picking this guy up. Man, I really hunted this dude down, and I found Apocalypse at the same time, as I said earlier, and I scooped both of them up. And I'm still looking for that Punisher, man. I'm going to do a little review on something I picked up, man. I didn't get that Punisher, man, but I got something for my daughter, and we reviewed it together, man. So I'll post a little video on that. But Chad, man, I recommend this dude. The amount of accessories you get, the head sculpt, the Rhodey head sculpt, man, which is off the hook. Just everything about the figure is spot on, man. So I really dig it, y'all. And really no complaints, man. He was a little top heavy, like I said, but that's to be expected with what's going. Well, you know, it's kind of busy up there on his shoulders, you know. But get your stand, and it'll all work out. So listen, y'all, if you enjoyed the review, go ahead and consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell. Give the video a like. And until next time, as we say here in New Orleans, laissez les bon temps rouler, mes amis. Y'all probably thought I forgot about that giveaway, right? No, I didn't forget, man. Sorry it took me this long to get this review all, man. I've been real busy, man. A lot going on. But here we go, man. I'll put everybody's name that entered the town they were from, man, Instagram, etc. Right here in this cup, man. This is a Mardi Gras cup, man. You go up in New Orleans, man. These are the kind of cups we grew up drinking out of, right? So everybody's name in here, man. I'm gonna mix this around real quick. Mix it around real good, up and down, all around town. Mixing that bad boy up. Alright, man. And I'm just gonna pick a name out of here, y'all. And whoever's name it is, man, you're gonna be the winner of that Deadpool, alright? So let me go ahead and select a name out of here, man. Still going through it a lot real good. Let me mix it up one more time. I ain't never done nothing like this before, man, so I don't know what to do, you know? Going in circular motions here. Let me just pick a name, man. So the winner, man, of this Deadpool is going to be my main dude, Roman Guerrero. So Roman Guerrero, man, give me a holler on Instagram. I see you in Visalia, California. Holla at me, man, and I will be sure to mail this out to you, my brother. So hit me up on Instagram, man. Send me a direct message, and I will go ahead and get this out to you, man. Thank you for participating, y'all. And again, thank y'all for watching the review. I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side.